All right, campers, road trippers and apocalypse preppers. Today, we're putting two heavy hitters head to head. The brand new DJI Power 2000 versus my old Ecoflow Delta 2 Max. Now, spoiler alert, one of these might become your new best mate when your lights go out, or if you're trying to make toast in the bush. All right, first up, let's talk juice. Both the DJI Power 2000 and the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max both pack 2,048 watt-hours capacity. So in 12-volt torque, that's about 170 amp-hours capacity. That's pretty reasonable. And that's gonna allow you to run your car fridge for at least a couple of days without any additional charge. It'll allow you to charge things like drone batteries, laptops, mobile phones. In fact, you can actually charge your mobile phone around 115 times. You can also run a coffee machine continuous for around about 2 hours. So don't feel guilty about taking that espresso machine away camping. Now, when we talk about expandability, the DJI Power 2000 has an edge over the Delta 2 Max. This can be expanded up to 22,000 watt-hours of capacity. So that's an additional 10 batteries on top of this one. At that point, you're not camping anymore, you're running a small village, whereas the Delta 2 Max can only be expanded up to 6,000 watt-hours. Output power. Now the DJI Power 2000 delivers a massive 3,000 watts of stable continuous output until it's empty. Basically what that means is it's going to run 99% of your household appliances like microwaves, induction cooktops, air fryers, and even your hairdryer for those glamorous camping moments. If we look at the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max, that only delivers a 2,400 watts of continuous output. Whilst respectable, if you're serious about cooking a 3-course meal in the middle of the bush while blow drying your hair, DJI's got you. Charging speed. So the DJI Power 2000 can be charged from 0 to 100% on grid power in 75 minutes. Now that's quicker than some people can pack a car. If you're talking solar charging and car charging, you can also get that done with this unit. However, you're gonna have to buy an additional accessory, which will plug into that SDC port. The Ecoflow Delta 2 Max can be charged on grid power from 0 to 100% in just over 80 minutes. However, it does include solar charging and car charging in the unit. All right, let's talk noise and safety. Now, one of my biggest gripes with any power station is that they can produce quite a lot of noise, especially when you're heavily charging or heavily discharging the unit. Now, I think the noise can be contributed to the actual design of the unit itself, and I think DJI have an edge over the Delta 2 Max in their design and their location of their fan placement. On the DJI Power 2000, the fans are on either end, and they have one fan that pushes and one that pulls air. So effectively you've got air that's getting pulled across the unit and keeping it cool. Whereas the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max has two fans on one side, and I don't know how they sort of are trying to think about getting the airflow across the unit, but I think what that does is it creates a little bit more turbulence and gives you a louder fan noise. Now, DJI quote 29 decibels when this thing is charging or discharging, and the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max, they say that theirs is rated at 30 decibels. However, that's only rated when it's at pulling or charging at 500 watts. And I can tell you in my experience that it does get a lot louder than this unit here. So on safety, both units run LFP batteries, which is lithium iron phosphate. Now they're the safer of the batteries, and they're the ones that you want in your portable power station. DJI quote 4,000 cycles on their unit, whereas Ecoflow only quote 3,000, so that may be something to consider if you're going to hold on to this unit for a long time. DJI go a few steps further in enhancing their electronics protection inside the unit, and actually provide a nano coating. And what that does is gives it some protection against moisture and condensation that may form. And also, the unit is rated to a static pressure of 1 ton. So literally, you could park your 4-wheel drive on top of this. However, disclaimer, I wouldn't try it. All right, so we've had this unit for about a month now, and we've been lucky enough, I suppose, to own both the units, and we're able to give you a fair and accurate comparison. Now, with the Ecoflow has been a great unit. However, had I not owned this unit, I would say the Ecoflow is a great unit and to go out and buy one. But now owning the DJI Power 2000, I would honestly recommend the Power 2000 over the Ecoflow. And I suppose it's a bit of a balance of what you actually need and what you want, and you've got to fine tune it. And for us, the Power 2000 hits the nail on the head every time. Now, we normally run an induction cooktop and an air fryer typically at the same time. So we've got a 2000 watt induction cooktop and a 900 watt air fryer. This handles it no problems at all. Whereas when we run the induction cooktop and the air fryer on the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max, we actually had to only max the induction cooktop at 1500 watts so we could run the air fryer. Now, that may be something that may not impact you at all because you may be using it for different things, but I think this unit fitting into the DJI ecosystem as well with the SDC plugs and the fast charging and all those types of things, I think is of benefit. And for us, we just grab this and go. We don't actually charge this via solar. It's normally charged up, ready for us to use when we sort of go to the beach or we go on a day trip somewhere. We just literally pick this up, chuck this in the car, and then we've got our induction cooktops and our air fryers or whatever we're taking on the day ready there, and we can just plug it in and go. So, but in saying that, having an additional battery system at the campground on top of our caravan has been an absolute godsend as well. So, but yeah, for me, the DJI here is the clear winner. So here's the takeaway. Both units are selling at the moment for $2,199. So it's a reasonable investment. Now the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max has been a solid unit, but not without its issues. The DJI Power 2000, on the other hand, is bigger on output, it's faster charging, it's quieter, it's drone friendly, and it's expandable so you can power a block party. So if you're after the ultimate camping, road trip, or backup home essential, then I think DJI might be the new king of power stations. So which one would you choose on your next adventure, the DJI or the Ecoflow? Drop an answer in the comments below because I'd love to know. And if you've enjoyed the showdown, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this, because it may or may not involve me using a hairdryer in the bush.